lesson, we'll be working with three-digit numbers, and we will also learn that in the three-digit number, each digit represents a different place value. So to go ahead and get started with the lesson, based on what I just said, what can you tell me about a three-digit number? Are all the digits the same? Are all the digits with different values, or are they equal? What can you tell me about it?
3 digits are different.
Right, because
because they have different values.
good. Do you remember what the values were?
They were 1, 10s, and 100.
Good job. So to get started, let's look at an example. We're trying to figure out which representation, either A or B, represents an amount of 257. So to figure that out, I'd like to go through each example and write the number, and then we'll circle which answer is correct, which answer represents 257.
Okay.
So these big blocks here, you see that there are three big blocks.
Yeah.
These represent 100. So each block is 100. So there are 3 here. How many hundreds do you are there in the number?
1.
There are 3 big blocks.
Yeah.
So how many and each block represents 100.
Yeah.
So how many hundreds?
3.
Good. So let's write that down. And these skinny tall blocks represent amounts of 10. So how many skinny tall blocks do you see?
3.
Good. So we'll write 3. And then how many single blocks do you see?
2.
Good. So we have 332. Is that 257?
No.
Let's do this one. There are 2 big blocks and some tall skinny blocks with some individual blocks. Can you tell me how many 100 blocks there are?
2.
2. Good. How many tall skinny blocks are there? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So we'll write 5. And how many individual blocks are there? Can you count for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Good. So which one is 257? A or B?
B.
Good job. So before we move on to the other worksheet, I'd like to go over the place value of a 3-digit number. So we're working with the number 257, so I'll use that as our first example. So I'm going to write 257. But I wrote them spaced out because I want you to see that each number represents a different value. And I'll draw a line between the numbers so that you know that each number is different. Now, based on previous lessons, can you tell me which place the 7 is in?
7.
Is it in the ones place, the tens place, or the hundreds place?
The ones.
Good. So we would write an O representing ones. The 5s, is it in the tens or the hundreds place?
10s.
Good. So we'll write a T for tens. And the 2?
100.
And we'll write an H for that. So every time we have a 3-digit number, this is what I'd like you to do so that you don't get confused with the place value of each number. It's really going to help you because it separates the numbers, and under each number, I want you to write an O for ones, a T for tens, and an H for hundreds. That way you don't get confused at all.
Okay.
So, let's move on to more examples. Okay, so for example A, can you tell me what number is represented by these blocks?
100.
Right. So remember that these blocks represent hundreds, these blocks represent tens, and these single blocks represent ones.
Yeah.
So can you do it for me? How many? Here, I think this will help. Let's make our chart. Since we know that we're working with 3-digit numbers, we'll make a chart like this. And I want you to tell me how many. Well, we know we work from right to left when we're working with place value. So for the first number on the right would be ones, then comes the tens, then comes the hundreds.
Yeah.
So let's start this way. We'll make our chart and we'll label them O, T, and H, representing 1, tens, and hundreds. So that way it's a little easier. So how many 100 blocks do you see?
3.
3, good. How many ones block do you see?
3.
And how many tens block do you see?
3.
Good. Is that easier? Does it help to like make the chart and then label it and then write the numbers?
Yeah.
Or do you think you can just like write the numbers straight? It's easier with the chart, right?
Yeah.
Good. So I'm gonna make the chart for you on this one. And I want you to tell me what place value goes to
1.
Right, the 1. So we'll write an O and then
10.
And then
100.
100. So how many hundreds are there?
2.
Good. How many tens?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good. And how many single ones?
7.
Good. Good job. So now, a different way of writing the numbers without having the blocks as a representation. Say that we had the number 453. I want you to tell me what number is in the tens place. Like
5.
Underline, so it's 5. 5, and then you would write 5 tens. Good. Let's do another example like this. I'm gonna write a number and I'm gonna underline a specific number, and you tell me which place value is underlined.
Okay.
So let's do 169. And I'm gonna underline the 1. Can you tell me what place value I underline?
100.
Good. Okay, so this next worksheet is similar to what we just did. They give you a 3-digit number, and then you have to write the value of the underlined digit. So for this one, you can either write O for ones, T for tens, and H for hundreds. You don't have to like write out the full word.
Okay.
So this one, it's 7.
H.
Good. This one, 6 is underlined.
1. O.
This one,
T.
this one,
H.
this one,
T.
this one,
T.
this one,
O.
and this one.
T.
So they have some word problems on the bottom. I'm gonna do the first one, and then we'll try to work together on the second one. So the first one says, in the number 238, which digit has the greatest value?
2.
The 2 because.
It's in 100.
Good job. 2. So write the 2. In the number 619, which digit has the least value?
9.
Because.
It's in a 1.
Good job. So now I'll pass out this worksheet and you'll be working on this on your own. So previously, remember how we said like each big block is 100?
Yeah.
And then we have the 10s and then we have the 1s?
Yeah.
So yeah, this worksheet is like similar to the first one we did. I want you to work on all 8, and if you have any questions you can ask me while you're working with it.
Okay.
And then I have some worksheets to pass out for homework, so you'll first complete this and then we'll do that later on. But
Okay.
for now you can work on this.
Okay. Thank you.